Hey guys, my name is Zach Worley, and today I want to show you guys how to make this right here. I have already tried to record this like 3 or 4 times. This is my first time doing a tutorial, so however this goes, this is going to be the last time because it is 12 a.m. and I have work in the morning. Silly, silly me. Anyway, so this is the paper heart, and what we're going to do is we're going to start in Illustrator and actually design the shape of the heart, and then in Photoshop we're going to add the texture and all the cool stuff that you see here. So in Illustrator, what we're going to do is we're going to use a triangle to create the bottom part, and then a polygon to create the top part. Normally, you'd have like a circle and a circle to kind of give a traditional heart shape, but hey, let's not be traditional, okay? So we're going to start out in Illustrator. Now, when I opened up a new document, I just did a print. So I just went to File, New, Document Profile, Print, and I actually changed it to inches. And that's going to help later on. So go ahead and do that. Title it whatever you want. And I just put it in landscape. That part doesn't really matter. But the inches part, that does matter. So once you do that, go ahead and hit OK. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the polygon tool. So we're going to go straight down right there. If you don't know where it is where you see the underneath the line segment tool. You'll see a rectangle. Click and hold on that, and you'll get the polygon tool. A couple cool little tricks that I'm going to show you guys. Oh, hey, by the way, if you've never seen any kind of tutorials or anything like that, a lot of times people complain about, oh, you went too fast, you went too fast. Some people will say, oh god, he's going so slow. So here's the deal. If you are new to this and you're not sure what is going on, please don't fret. You can always hit the pause button. It will not offend me at all if you push the pause button and interrupt me. In fact, I won't even know. So please do. If you feel like you are getting left behind, hit the pause button, catch up, and it's going to be all good. I'm actually going to give you guys a little indicator on when you can push pause so that you can actually pick up the right numbers and all that kind of stuff. Anywho, let's move on. We got the polygon tool, and when you click and drag, you'll see that you actually have multiple shapes. The way I did this from scratch is I can just go up and down with the up and down arrows on the keyboard, and that'll give you more or less lines or angles. So it's pretty cool. The first thing you want to do is go to 3. So go all the way down to a triangle and hold shift. Now please remember shift. Shift is your friend with dealing with Adobe Suite applications. Holding shift will keep it symmetrical for you. Okay, so we're gonna make this a certain size. I'm actually gonna go ahead and give you guys the number on this. It is, so all you gotta do is click once and it'll say polygon, what would you like to do? So in inches, I'm going to do, it seems like a random number, but I promise it's not, 3.4297. And right now is a pause time, man. Ready, go. Nice, welcome back. Okay. Go ahead and hit OK. We're going to hit the letter V on our keyboard so we can move this down. That's the move tool, which is right up here. It's black arrow. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this. Now you can right click and do arrange and transform and reflect and all that kind of stuff, but I like to watch it spin. So I'm going to, whenever you do this, again, holding shift will keep it at 45-degree angle increments. So you can either do freeform or you can hold shift and it'll be exactly 180 degrees. Adobe, you're so good. Next, we're gonna do the top part of the heart. So we're gonna get the polygon tool one more time. And again, if you're doing this from scratch, click, drag, and do the up arrow to give yourself some angles there. If you want to do it that way, you can. You're going to want 7 angles, but if you click just once, then the measurement you want right here is 1.5883 with 7 sides. Pause time. Go time. Hit OK. Go ahead and hit the letter V, and we're going to move this down. Now here's what you want to have happen. you want this corner of this polygon, so I'm going to zoom in here. You want this corner of this polygon to actually match up with the corner of the triangle. Okay, so something similar to that. If you need to move it by pixels, then you can do that with the up, down, left, and right arrow keys. Zoom back out, and now you have the first part of your heart. Now what you want to do is click and start dragging, and then hold Option or Alt on the PC. And again, if you hold Shift, see how it's kind of moving around, it's kind of frustrating, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this again. Well, if you hold Shift, it'll actually keep it straight for you, so you can see how my mouse is moving around, but the polygon is not. And then, of course, Adobe is so smart, and they have these green lines that tell you that this is the intersect of these two anchor points. So I'm going to go ahead and release it, and we have our heart shape. And you might say, but that doesn't look... That's okay. We're going to build it. We're not quite done yet. I'm going to select all of these here, and then we're going to go to the Shape Builder tool, and you'll see that as you hover over... Now, again, you have to have all of this selected. If you want any of this, so if I go over here to these, it's not going to affect it at all. But if I come over here to the ones who are to the ones that are selected, then you can see the grid. What this basically is saying is this little triangle can be a shape all by itself. So if you look in your layers, you have your two polygons as well as your triangle. If I was to click right here, it would actually make a triangle right there. Okay, so that shape right there is all by itself now. But we don't want that. We want everything to be together. So I'm going to click and drag, make that a shape, and then click and drag across here. So now we have all one shape that is our heart. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this being like a really long heart. So I'm going to get the direct selection tool, which is this white arrow up here at the top. I'm going to hover over it for a second so you can find it. And then, or the keyboard shortcut is A. What this does is it allows you to grab just a single anchor point and click and drag it up. Again, holding Shift will keep it straight for you. So you don't want it something like that because that's not even a heart. But you do want something like that. Okay. So keep kind of manipulating it. If you want it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, I actually do want it a little bit longer. Then, make it however you want. Once you do that, then you get the line segment tool. It's right here. I'm going to hover it, and there it is. And we're going to grab, we're going to go right here from this anchor point and go straight down. Again, holding Shift, it will give you that perfect line. That will kind of cut the heart in half. And from here, we want to go in the middle of this anchor point part, and we want to go to each corner here. Okay, it's going to indicate where the anchor point is by giving you this little enlarged anchor point. So just go and do that to each little corner. And there you go. Yeah, so since I have tried this, I'm just going to talk over this because this part's boring. Since I've tried this like 4 times already, I'm probably going to have to split this in half. So I'll do the Illustrator part in part 1 and then the Photoshop part in part 2. So stay tuned. Now that you have it all chopped up into the different corners, don't worry about this one. Well, I'll show you what you're going to do with that one. Now you're going to do a little bit of free form. For those who are new, don't be scared. Just simply click from the middle and drag down. And kind of guess. You don't want to be like way out here or kind of like an odd shape. You want to start from the middle line and kind of go, somewhere right in here. Make sure that you do meet up with this red line. Or I'm sorry, the line at the bottom, the outside lining of the heart. And in order to keep it symmetrical, Illustrator will give you like the intersect point, so right there-ish. But again, you want to make sure that you are connected to the outside part of the heart. That's important. And then you want to click and drag one more time, kind of split this little line up here. Make sure that you connect with the path, the outside path, and then use the intersection. So make sure you have the word path until you run into the word intersection. And by that I mean like this little green indicators. And then the last 2 lines are going to be up here at the top. Make sure you're at path. And you can make this shape in the right here as big or as small as you want. And then do the same thing over here. Make sure you're on path. and then move down until you intersect. There you go. So there's your all your lines outlined for you, and then what we're going to do is we're going to select everything. So you can either click and drag to select everything, or you can do Command A, whichever. Then you're going to go to the Shape Builder tool, which is the one we used earlier. Shift M if you so choose. And I'm actually going to change my, by default it's white and black, so I'm just going to make sure it's white and black. And you'll see that now you have the option of making all these different shapes here. So I'm going to click here, click once there. All you got to do is click once. It doesn't look like it changes at all, but I guarantee you it is. And in fact, if you have the layers panel open, then you'll see that all these different things are changing all over the place. Let's figure out what this is. What is this? Sometimes you have stray little anchor points or little spots. You can select those within, I don't even know where that one was, but you can select it within your layers and move it around. Now at this point, I have these colors selected already. I'm going to type the letter V and get the move tool. And you can actually select this and go up here and just simply choose a color. So whatever color you want to choose, just click on it. For me, since I already have these colors picked out, I'm actually going to use the eyedropper to pick these colors because I like them. And then a cool little shortcut is if you hold Command, it'll temporarily give you the move tool. And then you let go of Command and it'll automatically go back to whatever tool you were using. Very, very helpful. Adobe, you did it again. Okay, so I'm going to do that and that. This time I'm going kind of fast because if you guys want to pause the video and choose your colors however you want, by all means, do it. Man, my voice is getting tired. You can hear it. I'm ready for bed. I'm so old. I turn 27 tomorrow. It's ridiculous. I think it was just yesterday I was like 18. Insane. Anyway, enough about me. All right, so you have the colors here. They are whatever you choose. Now, something that is rather important is that you want to make sure that these are actually split up into the correct layers. Okay. The reason is when we export this as a Photoshop file, we want to, if I was to export it now, it would be only 2 layers in Photoshop, and that is an issue. So right now I'm just going to delete this one because you guys don't have it and I do. It's just for color reference. In fact, I'm going to delete layer 1 completely. There we go. And what I'm going to do, this is kind of the tedious part, is I'm just going to add a whole bunch of layers. There is a way to do it to where you can select all of them, and I just cannot for the life of me remember how to do it. I watched somebody's tutorial and I was all excited because I've had to do this like multiple times, and I just can't remember the stupid shortcut for this. Now that we have it all in our layers, okay, we have layer, well, 1 through 14. In this case, I deleted 1, so 2 through 15. Now what we want to do is go to File, Export, and then Format. By default is PNG. Go ahead and take it down to Photoshop. That's .psd. And you can title this whatever you want. In my case, I'm going to do Paper Heart Tut.psd. Hit Export. Now this button right here, this is really important. Under Options, do not do Flat Image. That'll give you just one layer, and you don't want to separate all those layers for nothing. So go ahead and do Right Layers. Hit OK. And minimize this bad boy and double click on paperheart.psd. Now here you can see the reason why we separated these into separate layers. We now have them over here separated as separate layers. So at this point I'm probably going to do part 2. So if you would go and check that out.